Sumalitam Tasmai Guru Namaha Guru Vishta Sabhukam Guru Ganerisista Sabhushitam Chincha Samasbe Napunam Chirupapam Hangam Govinda Vidam Ujwalam Velatanam Bhakti Avatam Sundaram Vande Vishnu Gurum Scha Bhagavat Premohi Vijapadam Niram Divitanam Tuchandra Bandhanam Balakachalam Tutam Sundaranand Puram Sadika Varnam Varagi Vidam Shri Siddhanta Nudam Bhakti Nasitam Sarvatam Varam Vande Tam Sabad Madhika Sarnam Nishwaram Sri Dharam Shri Siddhanta Sarvati Vidito Guru Guruva Ande Lanto Vanurava Bhakti Gandhi Guru Sankitane Mahavatam Guru Daragatan Ujaji Vaniman Krishna Prem Bhavati Vaham Shukam Bhavam Bhavam Bhavat Sambhaji Maha Mahavanaya Krishna Prem Bhavati Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namani Guratish Maha Vanchikalpachurishta Kripa Sindhudevacha Patitanam Bhaktamevi Vaishnavevi Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivastava Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so this evening we'll read a chapter up, we won't read the whole chapter. We'll read a verse from chapter 5. So this is the last verse of chapter 5, verse 29, I think. Yes, verse 29. This is a very well-known verse, quite famous. Bhaktaramya Gnatapasam Savoka Maheshwaram Saryadam Savabhutanam Jantamam Chantamriskiti. And the translation is, the sages, knowing me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, obtain peace from pangs of material misery. And Srila Prabhupada's purport here is purport. The conditioned souls within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to obtain peace in the material world. But they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of Sri Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this. Lord Krishna is the beneficiary of all human activities. Men should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord, because he is the proprietor of all planets and demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishvaranam Paramam Maheshwaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey, but actually they are dominated by material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of material energy, of material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including great demigods, are his subordinates. One can obtain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. The fifth chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation as to how Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herein. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from the transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is a path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute, and the perfection of this consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God as his fragmental part and parcel. He comes into contact with Maya, illusion, due to the desire to lord it over Maya, and that is the cause of his many sufferings. As long as he is in contact with matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter. For it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial towards anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in an effort to control the senses and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And obtaining Krishna consciousness by controlling the above-mentioned passions, one remains factually in the transcendental stage, or Brahma Nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is gradual process of elevation in the practice of yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, pranayana, and samadhi. But these only preface perfection by devotional service, which alone can award peace to the human being. It is the highest perfection of life. Now this verse is a very, very famous verse. It's one and Prabhupada, I read about, I believe Prabhupada might have even written something called the Peace Formula based on this verse. He said here, people don't know how to achieve. Everybody in the material world wants peace. Really, you could say 90% of people want peace. They don't know how to get that peace or how to obtain that peace. They don't know. But Prabhupada is giving the formula here to see Krishna as the proprietor of everything. Everything coming from Krishna. And everything goes to Krishna. Everything comes from Krishna and goes to Krishna. Everything is Krishna's energies. But people, because they don't understand this, they're trying in many different ways to achieve this peace, which is always seems to be just out of their reach. Well, this is a material world where it's very difficult to lead a peaceful life. And basically that's what we all want, a peaceful life. And the devotees want a peaceful life, chanting Hare Krishna. So we can see that Krishna consciousness, it's not an exclusive thing. It's not for one particular group, one particular society, one particular organisation, a group of people, a country. No, it's not exclusive at all. It's actually it's a universal application. It is for everybody. Everybody can be engaged in Krishna consciousness because the soul is naturally Krishna conscious. So really what needs to happen is we need to awaken this Krishna consciousness which is lying dormant within everyone. So it's like sleeping. They need to be woken up. But how to wake it up? How do we wake up Krishna consciousness? Well, really, we need the association of Krishna conscious people. Sarvasanga, Sarvasanga, Sarvashastakura. Nogamacha, Sarvasangi, Sarvashini Hoya. All the revealed scriptures, they all say the same thing. They all say that a moment's association with a pure devotee, or with a pure devotee means someone in Krishna consciousness, somebody who has Krishna consciousness, because but you can't give something you don't have. So somebody who has Krishna consciousness, who's fully awake. Well, everybody has Krishna consciousness. Everybody is Krishna conscious. But Gurudev would say every living entity is a devotee of the Lord. Everybody is, because by nature we're all spirit soul. We're all part and parcel of the Lord. So by nature everyone is Krishna conscious, but we've forgotten it's lying dormant within us. So that association is very important. That Sri Maharaj say 99% of this process is association. So with that association, then we can start to wake up. So Krishna says, Krishna Boli, Shijiva, Anadi Bahamuk, Aseva Maitari, Hasan, Saraduk. So we're all basically Krishna conscious, but we've turned away. This like is saying, since time immemorial, we've been attracted by the external feature. And the Lord's illusionary energy, Maya, gives us all sorts of miseries in our material life. Because we've turned away from Krishna. We're heading in the wrong direction. That word Bahimuk means we're going the wrong way. So we need to change direction. It's sometimes said we need to change heart. We have a change of heart, and we have the help and the association of other like-minded people, devotees of Lord Krishna. Then we can start to move in the right direction. We can start to wake up. When somebody's asleep, they might be having a bad dream, and they might be crying out in their sleep, I'm being attacked by a tiger. But, if one of their friends is close by, he won't get a stick or anything and say it's tiger away. He'll simply wake his friend up and say, no, there's no tiger. He was simply dreaming in your bed. So this is what we're doing. We're dreaming so much stuff in this material world. And it's all to do with this bodily situation. But Lord Krishna, he is the proprietor of everything. And that's like this sloka here. It also can, I've seen different translations of this sloka, right? All meaning the same thing. There's also, I'm the enjoyer and the reciprocant of the sacrifices performed by persons of action and the austerities performed by persons of knowledge. I'm Narayan, the indwelling monitor of all planes of life, the Supreme Personality who awards liberation. I'm Krishna, the well-wisher of all and the dear friend of the devotees. I say, Krishna is not partial, but he says, I'm everybody's well-wisher, but I am the dear friend of the devotees. So, in some ways, you say, well, Krishna is partial, but Prabhupada is saying he's not, and that's very very say Krishna is not partial, but he's always coming to the help of his devotees. So he might not be coming to the help of everyone, but he's always ready to help his devotees. Because Krishna is infinite, we're finite. No, we are part of the infinite. We're in some ways, part of the infinite is also infinite. But it's considered that Krishna is infinite and we're finite. And once Sri Maharaj was giving a talk in what's now is in Pakistan, he's giving a talk there and he's talking on this point about Krishna being infinite and we're being finite. And so one man challenged him and said, you're saying that we are finite and Krishna is infinite, but you're saying that the finite can know the infinite. But I say, if the finite can know the infinite, then he's not infinite. Which is true, you say. But Sri Maharaj said, immediately, straight away, said, if the infinite cannot make himself known to the finite, then he's not infinite. So that man had to accept that. So, how does, this the question is, then how does Krishna make himself known to the finite? Well, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, by revelation, and as Dasmal Tattva, we say, revealed knowledge establishes the truth. So, what is that truth? Revealed knowledge establishes the truth that Hari is supreme. He is omnipotent. He is the ocean of rasa. And the souls are his fragmented parts and parcels. Some of them are covered by Maya, and some are liberated from Maya by devotion. Pure devotion is the way, and Hari is, and love of God is the goal. Love of God is the final destination, you might say. So it's saying that revealed knowledge establishes the truth. This is where the truth comes from. That revealed knowledge is within the heart of the sadhu. We've met sadhus, we've even had some sadhus come here, and you can see that these devotees are absorbed 24/7 in Krishna consciousness. And they're not really interested in anything of the material world. You say, a sadhu, you're not going to say, well, what do you think about this book, or what do you think about that movie? They're not interested in that. They're only interested in Christian consciousness. So it's saying that Hari is supreme, that the Lord is supreme, and it says in here, he is the predominator. He is the predominator of all the planets and all the demigods. Even the greatest of demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, are not equal to him. And Lord Shiva is known as Vaishnava something like that. That he is the greatest Vaishnava. Still, many people would say Lord Shiva is God. Many people do. Shivites will say that. But we can give a couple of. Lord Shiva doesn't say that, but many of his followers say that. But you can just have a look at Lord Shiva's situation. He's catching Ganges on his head. Where does the Ganges come from? The Ganges come from the latest speed of Lord Narayan in the spiritual world. So, the lowest part of Lord Narayan's feet is being washed by this water that Lord Shiva is taking on the highest part of his body on his head. So we say, well, it's probably not God. And also, when Parvati asked Lord Shiva, which is the best worship of all worship, which is the greatest worship, he said, Aradhanam Savisham Vishnu Aradhanam Pradam. That worship of Lord Narayan, Lord Vishnu is the best. What question is there about that? And Parvati was like, I'm worshipping Lord Shiva, where am I situated? Then Lord Shiva said, but higher than the worship of Lord Vishnu is the worship of Lord Vishnu's devotees. And then Parvati thought, well, I'm worshipping Lord Shiva and he is the greatest of the Lord's devotees. And this comes from the Padma Purana. So all this is recorded in the scriptures that Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayan, by extension Krishna. We say there's no difference between Lord Narayan and Lord Krishna. There is a difference. Lord Narayan is directly Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna is two-armed form, Lord Narayan is four-armed form. Lord Narayan is considered to be God. When everybody worships, everybody worships Lord Narayan, but when the gopis were looking for Lord Krishna and he presented himself before them as Lord Narayan, and they were just like, you know, have you seen Krishna? And that was their inquiry. Oh, here's God before us, but have you seen Krishna? Do you know where Krishna is? So, you know, as far as, because Lord Narayan is worshipped with awe and reverence. He has extreme opulence. And all these Vaikuntha planets, everything is very opulent. It's awe and reverence is a different type of worship. Well, Krishna, he's a cowherd boy in Vrindavan, wearing a garland of forest flowers, herding cows with a stick. He's got a stick under his arm, not some big, not sitting on a shrine with a, he's got a stick under his arm. He's running with his friend with a morsel of food in his hand, which Brahmins and Kshatriyas could never do something like that. So Krishna has appeared in the Vaishya community. So he's appeared as a cowherd boy. He's doing all these things. He's got, sometimes the peacocks will approach Krishna and ask him to play his flute while they dance. So Krishna will play his flute and the peacocks will start madly dancing and Krishna will start dancing, and then when it's all over they'll have a bit of appreciation, a few peacock feathers, and Krishna will take one of them and put it in his head. This is the Supreme Lord. He's not all opulent, this and that, but simple things, you know. And if you ask some people, even in this world, great politicians, big people in this world, what do you really like doing? You know, what's your favourite activity? Many of them say gardening and simple things like that. Because all this opulence and that doesn't really make you happy. There's something, there's something there. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but there's something there. But Krishna, everything is coming from Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he prefers a simple life in the forest with the cows and the cowherd boys and the gopis and Mavi Soda and Nanda Maharaj and his friends like Madhumangala and Sridham. He's going out to the forest with the cows, having lunch by the Yamuna River, doing all these things. This is what Krishna likes to do. And even when Krishna left Vrindavan and broke the inhabitants of Vrindavan's heart and went away, and they experienced 100 years of separation from Krishna, but it just intensified their feelings. It didn't after 50 years, simple matter. No, it just intensified their feelings more and more. And then after 100 years of separation, they met Krishna in Kurukshetra for a solar eclipse. There's a place in Kurukshetra called Brahmabad or something like that, where people go on these eclipses and that and bathe in the waters there and do very auspicious things. A solar eclipse is actually considered to be inauspicious. So in India, I know I was in Pushkar once in a solar eclipse, and everybody was in the lake in Pushkar. Well, not everybody, but there's a lot of people in there, all bathing in there in the eclipse. And a lot of said, you know, either stay in the temple and chant Hare Krishna, but this is what they do. Yeah, so they were all there in Kurukshetra, and Krishna came from Dwarka, as queens and, you know, army, and he's a great king, and this is the king, and the gopis and the residents of Vrindavan, they came there too, and so they met there after 100 years of separation, and Krishna went to Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, and you can imagine what that looked like, and then he met with the gopis and Srimati Radharani, and she said to him, I'm the same Radharani, you're the same Krishna, and we're meeting here in Kurukshetra, and you're like a great king with these elephants and armies and all this noise, and but really we want to take you back to Vrindavan, where you wore the clothes of a cowherd boy, where you played your flute on the banks of the Yamuna, where we danced in the full moonlight. This is, I'm happy to see you here, but my heart desires to meet you beneath the forest in Vrindavan. That's what I'm hankering for. So Krishna is perfect, most perfect, and most perfect and more perfect. Krishna in Vrindavan is the most perfect of that situation. Outside of Vrindavan, Mathura Krishna and Dwarka Krishna, there is some difference in that mood. It's not the same mood as Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, Krishna is like I mentioned, he's the cowherd boy. All of his friends, the residents of Vrindavan, that's all they do, just love Krishna. That's it. Krishna is the centre of their life. Krishna is the centre of all activities in Vrindavan. Everybody's meditating on Krishna. When Krishna goes to the forest with the cows, and when he was really, really young, it was the calves. He was looking after the calves, and some of his friends and Balaram looking after the calves. And then as he got older, not sure what age, he was promoted to looking after the cows. So whenever they would go to the forest, the residents of Vrindavan would be appreciating it. These birds are so lucky, you know, these birds, we can see Krishna's gone to the forest, and we've got so much to do here. But they can fly, they can go with Krishna, so they're appreciating all the qualities of all the animals and all the other residents of Vrindavan, how they can get Krishna's association, how they can be with Krishna more than them. And so the gopis are thinking like that, like Yasoda and all the ones that stay behind. And then in the evening when Krishna comes back, everybody's up on the roofs of the houses, at the windows, lining the paths to see Krishna coming back from the forest, and to get a bit of the dust from the cows' hooves. And this is Vrindavan life. It's a simple, loving atmosphere. And in Vaikuntha, in Vrindavan, there is no calculation whatsoever. Everything is Krishna in the centre, and that's it. In Vaikuntha, Sri Maharaj, there's some calculation, something there. It's awe and reverence, and there's only those two levels. There's servitorship, and there's neutrality. So there's Santaras and there's Dasaras, and maybe a half of friendship, Sachiras. Maybe something like that. So the old servitors, whatever that might be in Vaikuntha, old servitors become somewhat friendly with Narayan. But in Vrindavan, the main is Dasara, Sakura, and Vatsalya and Madhura. So those four are there, but in Vaikuntha, there's no, Narayan doesn't have parents, and Narayan has in Vrindavan, everyone is serving Krishna, but serving in these different rases. They're serving as a friend. This is service to Krishna as a friend. The service, as in the cowherd boys. There's service to Krishna and Vatsalya Rasa as the parental or affectionate service of Mother Yasoda and Nandi Maharaj and all the other mothers. Many of them. Even there's a sloka. It says aho baki yamsna nakalakatam dikamsaya paya apiyasa the vegatam dasyuti tam sonam kambada lu saranam vajana. And it says how amazing it is that the sister of Bakasura, Putana, desiring to kill baby Krishna, smeared poison on her breast and forced Krishna to drink the milk. Even so, Krishna accepted her as mother, so she reached a destination suitable for Krishna's mother. From Vada, Lucy, and Ambadama. Oh, who else should I take shelter of but that most merciful Lord Shri Krishna? And this is the sloka that when Gadadhar Pandit, when Mukunda, this is in Chaitanya, asked Gadadhar Pandit, would you like to meet a sadhu? And Gadadhar Pandit said, yeah, I'm always keen to meet a sadhu. So Mukunda came from the same village as Pundarik Vijayanidhi, and Pundarik Vijayanidhi was a very wealthy landowner, and he had two houses. He had his house in the village that he came from. I can't remember where that was now, but he had a house in Namadweep where he would go and stay too. But he was very, he was different. He didn't like that people would play in the Ganges to start with. He didn't imagine putting feet in the Ganges. He couldn't imagine that, so he would go early in the morning and get some water from the Ganges and put it on his head. Anyway, he came to Namadweep, and so Mukunda took Gadadhar Pandit to see him, and so Gadadhar Pandit, so they went, and what Gadadhar Pandit seen was this very, very wealthy personality with oiled, curled hair, expensive silk cloth, sitting on this bedstead with servants fanning him with a hookah, smoking a hookah. And Gadadhar Pandit thought, what sort of sadhu is Mukunda brought me to see here? And he sort of like, I don't know about this. Mukunda could read his mind, could see where he's coming from. So he quoted that verse which comes from the Srimad Bhagavatam, aho bhakti yamstamakaram. That verse, he quoted that verse, and immediately that Pundarik Vijayanidhi heard that verse, he made a massacre, ripping his hair out and just ripping his beard to pieces and rolling on the ground. It was ecstatic symptoms everywhere. And Pundarik, Gadadhar Pandit thought, I've offended this sadhu. He is a sadhu and I've made offense to him. And he thought, the only way I can get over this offense is to take shelter of him and become his disciple. And he mentioned that to Mukunda, and he said, but first I have to see my Lord Hari, my Lord Chaitanya. I can't do anything without running past him first. So when he approached Lord Chaitanya said, yes, very good, do it. Pundarik Vijayanidhi and Krishna Leela is Rishabandhu Maharaj, and Gadadhar Pandit is Srimati Radharani, so father and daughter. Srimati Radharani in the way that Mahaprabhu, Lord Krishna has stolen the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani to become Lord Chaitanya. Now Lord Chaitanya is really Radharani. Krishna is in there, and we know the story of Mahaprabhu's appearance, that he wanted to experience the love that Srimati Radharani feels for him, but he can't feel it, and he's thinking, she's experiencing like 10 million times the amount of love and ecstasy that I'm feeling. I want some of this, but how to get it? So he actually told Srimati Radharani what he was going to do, and I'll appear in the Kali Yuga and you'll move and I'll roll on the ground. And she said, no, I won't allow that. I won't allow you to roll on the ground. I'll cover you with my body. Srinivas said he plundered her heart and halo, and what is left is Gadadhar Pandit. So he's always like Mahaprabhu's shadow. He's always moving up to Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit not far away. And when Mahaprabhu went to Puri, when he took sannyas, Gadadhar Pandit went there to him. And Mahaprabhu situated him at the Tota Gopinath. He even gave him that Tota Gopinath deity. Yeah, so it's interesting about that, the Tota Gopinath temple, Tota means garden area. Mahaprabhu asked Gadadhar Pandit, I have something for you. Will you receive it? Will you take it? And he said, yeah. And they're walking on the beach, and he started digging in the sand, and there's Gopinath. Gopinath's a big deity actually, but now he's sitting down. Originally he was standing up, and he was quite a big deity. And Gadadhar Pandit but as Gadadhar Pandit got older and he was finding it more difficult to, and one day he's like, gardening, putting a garland on Gopinath. So Gopinath sat down so he could do it, so he could put the garland. So he's still sitting down till today. If you go there today, you see Gopinath there, he's sitting down. So Krishna is the, what we say, Akila Rasamrita Murti, emporium of all rasa. Everything is coming from him. So the connection with Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna is that Lord Krishna became Lord Chaitanya, but what we talk about, they're taking the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani, covering himself. He's become the Kali Yuga avatar, though Krishna is known as Tri Yuga. This only appears in 3 ages. But in this age, in Kali Yuga, he's a covered avatar, Chana avatar. He's covered. He's not obviously Krishna, he's a devotee of Krishna. And this is how he appeared. And he appeared for that reason, because Advaita Acharya, seeing the suffering of all the living entities in Kali Yuga, and not feeling himself qualified or capable of helping them, that Krishna will have to come himself in this situation. It's a dire necessity that he come, because I can't do it myself. This is the humility of, even though Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu, he's saying, oh, can't do it. So he prayed to Lord Krishna with Tulsi and Ganges water, and Krishna descended and appeared as Lord Chaitanya. But he appeared for that reason. He appeared is to let people know, to spread the glory of Krishna, that yes, Krishna is the predominator. Everything is coming from Krishna. The emporium of all rasa, every taste, every sweetness, everything we can imagine is coming from Krishna. There's nothing outside of Krishna. Not that, and within the infinite there's this little bit over here that's nothing to do with Krishna. No, everything, there's nothing in the infinite that is not to do with Krishna. And we're fragmented parts and parcels of the Lord. But it's like it says in the Dasmal Tattva, some are covered by Maya and some are liberated from Maya by devotion. So this is what we're trying to do ourselves, and also trying to encourage others to do, is to step back from this crazy world that we're living in, and take a break and read Bhagavad Gita, read Chaitanya Charitamrita, all these. Try to understand that everything belongs to Krishna, even us, even we belong to Krishna. We think we're so proud of what we can do under our bodies, but even our bodies belong to Krishna. Nothing belongs to these bodies. And if we can understand that, the best way to understand this is through the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And this is the reason that Mahaprabhu appeared, Harinam, 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 Eva Kirtanam, Kalan, Stevan, 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 Gati, Amrita. That in this age of Kali Yuga, the holy name Krishna is the only way, the only way, the only way. And repeated 3 times, and if anything's repeated 3 times, it's very important that people understand this. So Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam, Kalona Stevana, Stevana, Steva, Yati Anyata. That it's the only way. In this Kali Yuga, chanting Hare Krishna is the only way, it's the only way, it's the only way. Yeah. So this is Mahaprabhu's, or Chaitanya's main message, is that, and I don't have a lot to say today. I didn't have time doing preparation or anything like this. But if anybody has any questions, that'd be good. Yes.
You said that for Narayan there is in-person, like a neutral relation with Narayana.
That's sorry?
You said that with Narayana it can be a neutral relation with him.
Yeah.
Shantaras.
Neutral.
Shantaras, Dasharas, and half a secular rasa, so 2.5 relationships.
Yeah, it can be Shantaras, but not with Krishna. And I heard that, for example, the trees, the flowers, they have kind of neutral relation with Krishna.
Yeah.
So, and what is different from the relation with Narayan?
It is Santaras. So Santaras in Vaikuntha and Santaras in Goloka Vrindavan are not the same.
Mm.
The Santaras in, look at this, another angle. So Uddhava is Krishna's best friend. You say that Namit Priyatama Atmiyoni Nasankara Nachasan Krishna Nasri Navatmachayita Bhavam. That Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Narayana, Vaikuntha, nor Lakshmi Devi, not even myself is as dear to me as you are, Uddhava. You're my favourite. So this is from the Walker. This is coming from the Walker. And so then Uddhava, who's Krishna's dearest friend in Walker, Krishna sends him to Vrindavan with a message for the gopis and for Nanda Maharaj and Madhya. So he goes to Vrindavan and he's completely blown away. He stayed there for a couple of months, and Krishna wanted him to, reassure the gopis, reassure the reasons, because Krishna never went back to Vrindavan. When he left, he never went back. He always said, I'll be back, I'll be coming back, but he never did. Uddhava was so amazed at everything he'd seen that he said, Asamaho Chanarenu, Asamaham Sham Brindavani Kumpidu Umalatu Sanam, Yejush Jan Swadram Asapapam Sahit. The guests and probably got some shooting to read now that the gopis of Vrindavan have given up their husbands and their children and their families who are very difficult to renounce to take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, who are sought after even by the Vedas. Oh, grant me the fortune to be born as a blade of grass in Vrindavan, where I may take the dust of these great souls upon my head. Blade of grass in Vrindavan, he's thinking is greater than even a blade of grass in Vrindavan is serving Krishna. I'd say a blade of grass anywhere in the spiritual world, but a blade of grass in Vrindavan and a blade of grass in Vaikuntha, there's some difference there. There's some difference there. Uddhava, who's Krishna's greatest friend in Dwarka, saying, let me be a blade of grass or a shrub or something on the paths of Vrindavan, so I may take the dust of these gopis as they're walking about Vrindavan doing their services. I may take that dust on my head. He's thinking that's the highest possible achievement ever. So, yes, Santaras is there in Vrindavan, no doubt, is there. But it says, not a grain of sand is neglected there. Not even a grain of sand is neglected. So we're aspiring for Vrindavan, and it also says the whole of Vaikuntha. Now this material, they say the material creation is 1/4 of the creation of spiritual. 1/4. So you've got this huge fruit. We don't even know how big this material creation is. It's impossible. It's like the sake of so many universes, like the sake of mustard seed. But in Vrindavan, a particle of dust has all the opulence of Vaikuntha, of the whole Vaikuntha world. A particle of dust in Vrindavan, it says that all the opulence of Vaikuntha is within that. Like you look, the residents of Vrindavan, and like the forest flowers, the gopis are wearing Chintamani gems on their anklets, and just simple ornaments that can be easily found in the forest and like that. There's a big difference between Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavan. Krishna lives in Goloka Vrindavan. Lord Narayan lives in Vaikuntha, where there's awe and reverence. In Vrindavan, it's loving reciprocation. It's a loving mood between the devotees and Krishna. It's spontaneous, automatic, loving devotion. In Vaikuntha, there is some calculation. Whatever that means, I don't even know what that means. This is what Shiva Sri Rama said. There's some calculation. We're calculating, like in this world, okay, we're always calculating our computers. Will I get something out of this? Will I make something out of this? Will this be good for me? Will I get what I want out of this? Will I do better than that? So there's always that calculation in the material world. That's what we're doing all the time. Now, if I do this, and what do I get? In Goloka Vrindavan, there is none of that. Right. That story of everyone knows that story of Lord Krishna's headache. Right, please point some dust from the gopi's feet so I can get rid of this headache. It's the only thing that will get rid of my headache. It's just the dust of the of my devotee's feet. Please hurry. So Naray's like all over the walker of Vaikuntha. Krishna's got a headache. He needs the dust of your feet to get rid of it. And saying, we can't do that. We'll go to hell if we give Krishna, he's God. We can't do that. And so he comes back. Well, Krishna, nobody will give the dust of their feet. Oh God, my head. Try Vrindavan, try the residents of Vrindavan. Hurry. And so Naraj, as soon as the gopis see him, Naraj, have you seen Krishna? Yeah, I've just come from Dwarka. Oh, how is he? Just got a really bad headache. Oh no, what can we do? Well, there is one thing you can do. but you probably won't want to do it. What is it? What is it? Tell us anything. If we get rid of Krishna's headache, we don't mind. Okay, well, he needs the dust of your feet, and you know what that means. He's God, and you give him the dust of your feet, you're probably going to hell pretty soon. Doesn't matter, take it. We don't care. We'll go to hell pretty soon. So that's the mood in Naraka Vrindavan, and by conference, or I don't know about that. It's a little bit different. Still, you know, I mean, still by conference, wouldn't it be enough? Yeah, so. Does that answer your question?
I have another question. So we can, what I understand of Shantaras in Vrindavan is like, is it some like they have the mood like with Krishna who is really strong and is like in pure love and there is no calculation. But is it like something who doesn't speak, who cannot, when they say Shanta is like a tree, a grass, because they cannot interact directly with him? Is it like this?
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
When we say Shantaras, is it that is it like a grass or a tree or an object because they cannot interact directly with Krishna, so it's Shantaras? Also, if the mood is very high, because I heard that, for example, some sakis, like with the mood of servant very intimate of Radharani, can be like cosmetic. Like, I don't know how to explain that.
Like kajal.
Yeah, like kajal, but it's not, I don't think it's like Shantaras mood, but they cannot interact directly. I don't know how to explain.
Well, okay, so in Vrindavan, all these words are here, it might be broken down. Usually they say in Vrindavan, they say Sakiras, Vasariras, Madhuras are the moods there. Because even the trees in the Yamuna River and all these other things that you would say Santaras, neutrality, right? Santaras is neutrality, neutral. But Madhavendra Puri, he said that he was a Kalpavriksha tree in Vrindavan, Madhavendra Puri. So, must do get from that, but he's coming here as Madhavendra Puri, and Madhavendra Puri is the Bhav Ampur, which means the sprout of divine love. He came just before Mahaprabhu, and he's the sprout of divine love, and he's the Kalpavriksha tree in Vrindavan. So you could say, well, he's in Santaras in Vrindavan. How high is all this stuff? Madhavendra Puri is, Madhavendra Puri is amazing personality. He's coming here. So it's really inconceivable for us. It's called a chincha. It's called a chincha. Inconceivable. It's like a chincha beta beta chutney. It's inconceivable. You can't really get hold of it completely, We need someone, we need a pure devotee. We've got Vana Maharaj coming here soon, so he can explain all that stuff. Yeah, it's sort of higher subject matter, and I don't really have a lot of knowledge about that sort of thing. But good question to put to Vana Maharaj.
I'm not sure I will be able to explain it.
Sorry?
We maybe need you ask or he ask or someone.
Good question, but this is sort of, it's higher stuff, but if we can, if we can somehow or other become Krishna conscious, all this stuff will be revealed within our heart. It doesn't actually come from books and lectures and all these things. It comes from the heart of the pure devotee. When you follow your Guru Maharaj's instructions and your Guru is happy with you, then it's a heart-to-heart transaction. It comes from from the heart of the guru into the heart of the disciple automatically without all that stuff. And there's a story like that. One guru had disciples in the ashram, looking at the guru. One boy had always doing stuff, always had service to do all the time, and the others were always just sitting around with the guru, listening to the guru. And so they had lots of knowledge, but always with the guru, listening to the guru. This other boy, he didn't have much knowledge, but he was always milking cows, doing firewood, doing all these things. So what happened was he became super knowledgeable without really being dashing with the guru all the time. He was doing service, but the guru was happy with him, and if the guru is happy with you, automatically this is the result of pleasing your guru. Transcendental knowledge will come into your heart. So if we can, be fixed up in service to our guru, this is the main thing. This is more important than anything, is doing service to your guru. And that service can be done. I mean, not everybody's going to have the opportunity to serve the guru, because every disciple wants to serve the guru, but not everybody has the opportunity to serve that person. But the instruction of the guru is the important thing. If you can serve the instruction of the guru, that's the secret. If you can serve that instruction, because guru is not always here either. The guru, guru might be in another country, another town. He might have even left the world. But my guru, he's no longer here. So I have his instructions. That's all. But of course, these souls, they don't die. They don't die. The body dies. So if we can just try to serve our guru, then everything will be perfect. Okay, I'm going to leave it there.
Ananda Vadan Prabhu ki
Jai.